Alright, so what's good, you guys? It is Will here from Psychonaut Vision signing back in once again, coming at you guys with another video today. And I just did my hill sprints once again. I got to 11, hoping to get to 12 relatively soon, but nonetheless, still doing pretty well overall. I felt good today, and I figured that today would be the day when I finally open up about what is really going on, some of the things that I've really been facing, and something big that I've been holding back for quite some time. Now, why I chose today, the day I'm recording this, I don't think it's not gonna be the day I'm gonna upload, but the day I'm recording this is June 10th. Now, the reason why that is significant is because it was the same exact day 1 year ago of my first ever bad trip on psychedelics. On top of that is the 2-year anniversary of my most intense psychedelic trip. And so June 10th, back-to-back years I tripped. Both times it wasn't supposed to be that way. It just happened to fall on the 10th of June. And I figured that today I may as well be honest about probably the root of what went down during my first bad trip experience, and basically what I've been going through over the past, I would say, mainly couple of years. Now, I think the biggest struggle for me has probably been with my sex life. Now, I've talked about NoFap before. I mentioned my porn addiction before on the channel, but I haven't told the full extent of what's really going on. I've dealt with, obviously, porn addiction. I've dealt with a fear of intimacy. I've dealt with erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction, the questioning of sexuality. And I think that, you know, even though I don't really know, you know, it's like I don't know what I want, who I want to be with, I would assume, and it's tough for me to say this, but I would assume that I am bisexual. And, you know, it's just like, that was a hard realization that hit me. But, you know, during that day at the beach 1 year ago, my first ever bad trip, I've talked about that a few times, and I did talk quite a bit about what actually happened, but I didn't tell kind of what started that. Now, I was at the time using Tinder, and I would basically just swipe right or whatever it is. I don't know if it's right or left, but I don't use Tinder anymore, but swipe right or left, whatever it is to like them, whatever it is to like people, like, you know, and try to get a match. I would swipe that way on literally everybody. And apparently, you know, I was sitting there talking with Alex, who's the other side of this YouTube channel, my best friend, and he was telling me about how I matched with his coworker, who was, I believe, he said she was in the process of transitioning from a male to a female, being transgender. And I'm not saying that I was, you know, planning to hit that person up or anything, or do anything like that. But I still matched with the person, and that person went and told Alex. So then I was like, yeah, dude, don't worry, I'm not gay. I promise I'm not gay. And, well, yes, I don't think I'm gay. There was still a thought that hit me after that. You know, before that thought, I was having a good time throughout the experience. And a couple hours after, I had that thought of like, man, I've been in serious denial. This is something that I've really been holding back for a while and haven't accepted the fact that, you know, maybe my sexuality isn't as clear-cut as I would like it to be, you know? And at first it was just like, man, like why do I have to be this way? And then it led to a downward spiral of thoughts. And over the next probably half year or so, I went through stress and anxiety about it, trying to think like, oh man, like what am I gonna do? Can I like please, I would pray to God, like, can I please be turned straight? Can I just be straight so all this can be fixed up, you know? But I would use porn as an escape. And because of that, I grew a health problem, I guess you could say, like erectile dysfunction and sexual dysfunction, not being comfortable in my own skin. I don't know how to talk to people sometimes. I have a fear of intimacy, you know? I like just the thought of love. It sounds like something that I really want to experience, but I don't know really what it is. And it's tough for me to open up about all this. It really is. You know, it's quite tough. But basically, that happened, like I said, 1 year ago. That trip happened, and for the next 6 months, so from then until December, I was still sitting there just confused about myself, my life, where I was going. I had no sense of direction, and I just didn't really fully know what I was doing. And I'm not going to sit up here and say anyone really ever does. I've learned that we may never know where we're going, but at the end of the day, you have to find a way to just live, find a way to live through all the madness. But what I mean by I said I didn't know where I was going or anything like that is I just didn't see a reason why I wanted to live, you know? And eventually I was just sitting there during winter break. I had some time off, you know, to just think about life and maybe try something new. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, you know, why don't I find some place, somewhere to go where I can really be authentic, where I can really be true to me, true to myself, and feel as if, wow, I do have power. I do have something within that I feel good about. And that place for me was writing. It was a place where no one was there. It was just me. It was just me and my own thoughts in my own little world. I called it the void. And I started writing. And at first it just became a journal. It was just something that I wanted to do to, like I said, get my thoughts out there. And even if it was just something for me to look on, it just made myself feel like, oh, I have a place to go to relieve myself, you know, to feel relieved. And eventually, you know, it turned into something a little bit more. I was like, you know what, why don't I start trying to make something out of this, right? And it started becoming a thought of mine, like, why don't I make it a book? Why don't I start writing this and turning it into a book? Start telling my story, start telling a lot about what I've been through, you know, about my own life and what I did to get through certain experiences and what I'm doing and the journey that I'm on. And the title of the book, and I'm still in the process of writing, but the title of the book is Embrace Yourself, you know, the journey of self-acceptance. It's all about really accepting who I truly am, some of the things that I don't like, and really trying to fall in love with many of my imperfections, many of my insecurities, first and foremost. A reason why I haven't experienced that love, a reason why I don't know why, or really what love is because there's a lot about myself that I have yet to fall in love with. You know, I haven't embraced, to the true extent, I haven't embraced anxiety and adversity, right? But then again, in a way I have, because this is something that I have opened up to Alex. You know, I have opened up a little bit about to him, not fully, but I opened up about particularly my sexuality to him and some of the struggles that I went through, you know. But I want the book that I'm writing to truly tell the whole story, because that is as genuine as it gets, you know, that is as genuine as you'll see and you'll hear from me. And I don't want to hide my whole life. I want to be able to express myself. And I'm not saying that sexuality defines me. It certainly doesn't. And that's really a realization that I've come to as well. But at the same time, I can tell that hiding it within is something that makes me feel like I'm holding something back. You know, I'm not being true. I'm not comfortable enough in my own skin. And when I informed Alex of these troubles that I've been going through was about 2.5 months ago. It was around the end of March. And, you know, I felt great afterwards. My next step was to try and tell my parents, which is something that I've still yet to do. But I decided, you know, why not try and make a YouTube video, you know, try and actually like really talk about it and go into detail about everything that I'm going through and some of the struggles and mental issues that I've dealt with. You know, and I really hope that I can get my book out there for others to read. Hopefully this year. You know, I'm really done almost with the story, but what the real journey has been is like a mountain for me. I'm climbing a mountain this whole time, and I was at this tipping point for the longest time where I was like, no one knows. Like, I'm trapped in my own mind. No one knows what I'm going through. It's just me. Like, it literally feels like just me, myself, and I in this world, and nobody knows, right? It's like I'm invisible almost. And that was a thought that was recurring through my mind for a while, but then I realized I'm the reason for that. I'm the reason why nobody knows, because I haven't opened up to anybody. That's on me. That's not anybody else. Stop pointing the finger at somebody else. There comes a point in time where you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, this is on me. I've got to be a leader here. I've got to find out a way. And I'm trying to do that here first. I do want to tell my parents and open up to them, especially about what I've really been going through. But I also want to open up to anybody I can who may be watching this on YouTube and try and really be open and honest about some of the things that I've been going through, you know. And it's really caused a lot of struggle and stress throughout the last couple of years of my life. But like I said, the mountain that I've been climbing, you know, I reached this tipping point when I was trying to talk to Alex about it, where every time I would see him, I would try and say something, like open up a little bit, but I would always fail. And I would come home like, damn, why can't I just open up? Why can't I just speak about it and talk about the struggle that I'm dealing with? But eventually I did it. Eventually I managed to piece the words together. And even though I was beating around the bush when talking to him, I still did it. You know, I've realized that life can really suck at times. But with that being said, when you are willing to go through those shitty ass times in life, when you are willing to go right through them head on, walk through the flames, you're only going to come out of that a better person, you know? And I think that what that bad trip did for me 1 year ago was really made me accept the fact that it's like, okay, I'm not going to change. My nature is not going to change. But at the end of the day, my mindset can change, you know? I can take accountability for what I need to do to get myself over that hump. And here I am, right there, you know, along this journey of the mountain that I'm just been climbing up, trying to get to that point where I can open up about my sex life and my sexuality to other people. I'm close to the summit. And this is another step. I'm getting there. I want to open up here. I want to talk to my parents, and then hopefully I can put the finishing touches on my book and get it out there for others to read and listen to, or I don't know if I'm going to have an audio book for it or whatever, but I want to get it out there for people to read and share my story to anyone and try and help anyone that I can, even if only 1 or 2 people read it, even if nobody reads it, you know, just the fact that it's a genuine place for me to go to, speak my own mind, be my own self, and explore my creativity is something that I need, and we all need, trust me, it has really changed my life being able to go there, go to the void, go to that place where I can just be free. But I want to feel like that everywhere, you know? I don't want to feel that simply in my own room, in the confines of my own mind, in my own home. I want to be able to expand my definition of home, get out there, not be afraid to tell others of my story, because we all have stories that are inspiring. I don't care where you come from. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like. We all have stories because we all face adversity, you know? Everyone. No one is immune to it, because as long as there is man, there will always be some type of imperfection. There will always be something we can improve on. And even after I'm willing to open up about this, it's not like I'm just perfect. It's not like I'm just done. There will still be a lot of trauma that I will have to face in this life. But it comes down to putting your foot down and taking those steps, being willing to go through it. And, you know, I don't know when I'm going to upload this or what, but just the fact that I was willing to talk about it feels good. It's a necessity. And, you know, I hope you guys can understand and just accept me for who I am. It's not like I'm over here trying to pray for you guys to accept. If you don't, I don't really care, man. It's just something that's who I am. You know, I can't take away from that. It's in my own nature. It's in my own blood. And I'm going to speak my mind. I don't want to hide from who I am, and I don't want to run from the truth, because the more you run from the truth, the more likely it is to catch up to you. You know, it's been a demon that I've been facing, seriously, and it's hard to beat the devil or beat a demon, but you can outwit them. You know, you can find a way to work around them, and that is what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to let my story speak for itself when I get it out there, but I'm doing this for me, trying to be the best version of myself I could possibly be, and ultimately just live my life as free as possible. And I hope that you do the same. If this inspired anyone to open up about something they've been going through, please feel free to let me know down in the comments. You know, if not, then let me know what you guys thought. I love you guys, anyone who's watching this, seriously, for taking the time out of your day to listen to me. And we're going to keep growing as a channel, as one, because we are one. So feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Again, I love you guys so much. Will from Second Eye Visions, signing out.